In the forest next to the Izyum town cemetery, the grim dig for human remains carries on. After Ukrainian forces pushed Russian soldiers out of the area, left behind is the overwhelming stench of death. Today, investigators unearthed more bodies.
Do you know what happened to them?
We do not know, this prosecutor says. We are finding people who are still unknown. On Friday, investigators found one mass grave with the bodies of 17 Ukrainian soldiers, many with broken bones, hands tied behind their backs, and other signs of torture. But civilians have been buried here too.
There seems to be more graves than trees in this area. Many of the graves are unmarked. Others have numbers. Some do have names, including these graves, the graves of 2 children killed on March 9th of this year.
Oleksandr Kovalchuk is here to visit the grave of his 68-year-old mother. He says she was sick, but with the town cut off by Russian forces, there was no doctor to help. He says his son also died, killed fighting on the front lines. I had to call my son sometimes, who was in Kharkiv, he says. It was dangerous. It's difficult for me to talk about that.
So much pain. I'm so sorry.
His town of Izyum is destroyed, hardly a building untouched by war. The streets are mostly empty and eerily quiet. This man says after months of intense bombardment and the Russian occupation, it's the silence that scares him most. At first, there were a lot of bodies in the streets, so we were burying them, he says.
Do you know of anyone who was killed?
Yes, I do. A lot of people I know were killed.
How many do you know?
He says, it's difficult for me to know for sure. We stopped counting. Erin McLaughlin, NBC News, Izyum, Ukraine.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.